Well, hello, hello, hello. Hopefully, everybody can hear me and see me okay. I'm actually trying to sign into the live on another account so I can see the chat a little bit better because I am on my cell phone. So I'll give it a few minutes for anybody to join me. I'm not sure how many people actually got notifications because YouTube has been exceedingly stubborn with this YouTube channel lately, and it's just not getting pushed out to hardly anybody. But it's just now 6:15 p.m. on the eastern coast of the United States, and I'm here after work hanging out with my cats. This is Kevin right here. He's a big old 20-pound black and white, and then up here eating his dinner. Hello, Jen. How are you? Good to see you. I was just showing off my cats. This is Kevin. This is my big, chunky black and white dude. And then this is Malibu right there eating his dinner. They eat up on the counter because I have a back injury, so I can't bend very well. So they eat on my kitchen island. And Malibu is a rag doll. He was my 50th birthday present to myself, and he is an absolute sweetie pie. And this one over here, black and white with the split personality. He can be super, super sweet, but he can be an absolute handful. He gets medicine twice a day. Hi, Patty. Nice to see you. Kevin gets medicine twice a day for glaucoma. He is actually in. Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you. He's in a study with the veterinarian because he's like one of the youngest cats they've ever seen with glaucoma in both eyes. And we're not quite sure how he got it, but he's had it since he was a baby. So let me try again to. Oop, sorry. Oh my goodness, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, here we go. I can see myself now. That way I'll be you may see me in the chat from my other channel if you seek Amy. Yeah, it would be really cool if when I first started having to give him medication, um his one medication was $160 a month, and then the other one is about was about the same. Luckily, they're not nearly that now. The prices have really, really gone down. And then I spend about $250 a quarter taking him to an ophthalmologist. So he has to be monitored. But yeah, they do take photos and all kinds of readings from his eyes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, it's very unusual. And there's Malibu. So he's my sweetie pie. He's he is very fluffy. He doesn't have his adult coat yet. Rag dolls normally take till about 3 years old, and he's just well over a year and a half. Yeah, Malibu would probably like to say something weird because he's just a little weird. I don't know. He's an odd cat. Um, oh yeah, Sarah, like whew, vet bills are absolutely no joke. They are lots of money. Um, and yeah, they they can be a ton of money. I know when I went to get Malibu neutered, because he's the only cat that I've ever gotten that wasn't a rescue. And so the breeder's like, well, you need to get him neutered, and we're not going to do that for you. In the first place I went, they wanted $1,500. The second place wanted $1,200, and I was like, no way. Like absolutely no way. I've never seen those prices. So that was in 2024. Previous to that, neuters were just a couple $100s. So I don't know. Prices have gotten really, really crazy with the vet bills. Um, oh, and I'll tell you how Malibu got his name. His dad's name is Laguna. Yeah, right? No way. $1,500. I told my vet, like, you're out of your mind. So I did a bunch of research and called about literally 10 different places. And I found like a low cost clinic that was about an hour and a half drive. Sadly, ended up costing me about $80 in tolls because I live around a bunch of toll roads. I think I ended up getting it all in, including like all of his remainder of his shots, his rabies vaccine. Uh, Hi, Candace. Nice to see you. Including the tolls, I think I paid about $500. So I saved myself $1,000 by going out of my way to get it done. So that was just crazy. And actually, for their rabies shots, I usually go to the local animal shelter here in my county. Oh, yeah. He was totally keeping the prices down, Jen. Like, he was really helping a lot. But in my area, you can go to the animal shelter or the county animal control about once a month. And it was, I think, $20 per pet. And it was cash, but it was only $20 per pet. You just had to get in line and wait in line. And it really didn't take that long, but my vet, when I got a quote, they wanted 150 per animal for the rabies shot because they were going to charge an office visit as well. And so when I was preparing for the cruise and I had four of them to get done all at one time, I skipped paying the $500 and just got them done for $20 an animal. So it's absolutely crazy. So it's so great to see everybody here. I'm looking at the chat, and it looks like word actually kind of got out this time, which is great because I know sometimes, like lately, like YouTube's been weird. It's just not showing or pushing our videos out. I know, like especially Candace. I'm like, wait a minute, you released another video like 2 weeks ago. Like, why didn't I get any notification? Oh, that's great, hard drink, because I really made an effort. I scheduled the live in advance and then I did a short and then I just tried to do all the things to make sure that people would get some kind of notification. So yeah, it was really crazy. And I've been enjoying all of y'all's live streams so much that I just figured I might as well do my weight update. I got a lot of ground to cover since I did my last one, and I figured live stream would be so much easier than trying to film it all and then edit it and all that good stuff. Because I just did my cruise series and that took a lot of effort to edit. I really did like my last one on the Brightline train. I managed to get some music that synced up pretty well, and I thought that came out pretty good. So let me get my notes or kind of move my waters out of the scene here. I have a table that I sit beside me so the cats can jump up instead of getting on my desk. I'm actually sitting at the desk that I work at. Aw, well, thank you, Candace. I'm really trying, and I really encourage anybody who wants to do a YouTube channel that it really just takes practice because I started working on this in January. And for January through March, I practice with the camera, and I was so awful. I mean, I couldn't even form a sentence. I turned the camera on, mine went blank. I'd sit there for 30 minutes. I finally got to the point where I was just crying in my bedroom because like I couldn't get through anything. I couldn't get a point across. I couldn't do anything. And so finally I just started reading off a script and just practiced and practiced and practiced. And especially since the cruise series where uh yeah, holding the camera, Jen, is definitely a hard part of the whole thing. Luckily, like right now, I'm on a tripod. Actually, let me put it down a little bit because I'm getting the hands all in the way. Um, yeah, Sarah, like you just got to try it. Uh, it takes practice, and just yeah, you just got to keep doing it. And luckily, like I'm a pretty good chatty person where I can carry a conversation. If I have somebody who can't carry, who's I'm trying to have a conversation with, and they're not really speaking, I'm usually pretty good at like asking questions or keeping people moving or keeping us on track and things like that. So luckily I've developed those skills over the years. But just practice, practice, practice. It'll work it out. And even if you have to read off of something, I see people all the time that have way more subscribers than me, way more views than me, and are monetized, and they're like looking off here to the off camera because they're reading. So people watch their videos. It's not about perfection, it's about showing up and giving people what they want to see. So it's really been a fun ride. I've really enjoyed joining the community. um, yeah. You turn red when you have to take pics. Oh my gosh. So I have another channel that I don't advertise, and it's called Amy and 10. And it literally is a therapy channel for me. And it's just kind of like my deep thoughts. And yesterday I was trying to film and I had a breakdown. And my whole face, my nose, the minute that I start getting emotional, my nose turns bright red like a clown. It's so ridiculous. Oh, thank you so much, Candace. I really, really enjoyed hanging out with you. And me, you, and Kim, I don't know what we were doing. We all should have just scheduled some time together and we all should have filmed something together or done a live or something. I don't know what we were doing. I think we were all in vacation mode and just not even thinking at all. And by that time that I met you, that was the last day of the cruise, and I was pretty tuckered out because I'd been going. I mean, you saw that fourth day video. I just went and I went and I went and I saw this and I saw that and I did this and I did that. It was pretty crazy. Um, okay, I'm going to take a breath here for a second and take a drink. So, because I do want uh, people to actually be able to come back to this in the beginning of the live. I will go back in after the live stream ends and I'll put in timestamps for everybody. So if anybody misses any of the data for my weight loss, they can go back to it. Aw, thank you, Bobbykins. I appreciate it. And I will put timestamps in so that way everybody can go back and hear a part if you missed it. But I'm just going to do my normal spiel and we'll do my weight loss stuff. And then after that, we'll just continue to chat. I do have a hard stop at about 7-ish, 7:15. But yeah, so let's just get right into it. So, hi. If you're new here, my name is Amy, and this is my channel, Amy Loses It, because I'm really not sure if I'm going to lose my mind or if I'm going to lose the weight or just both, all of the above, because we know that weight loss is a roller coaster of a journey, and it is not for the faint of heart. Uh, Especially for us lucky ones who don't lose weight very easily or even at all, even though we try everything and anything under the sun to get the weight off our bodies. So I started dieting January 1st because I'd hit my all-time high of 304 pounds. And that is 138 kilograms and 21.7 stone. Not quite sure how the math works on that, but I figured I'd put that out there for you. Now, as of my last live, my last results were for week 34, shot 27, and I did that live on the cruise, and that was August 23rd of 2025. So that is a bit behind. Yes, I'm I'm a little behind. That weigh-in came to 270 pounds. So that was 34 pounds down at that point. So yay! And that was a 15.4 kilogram loss for 2.43 stone. I can't really get the stone pound conversion thing, so you're just going to get points. Okay, so let's go up. So then I took shot 28, 29, and those two kind of netted out to a 1 pound gained. And that's the way I roll. I gain, I lose, I gain, I lose, I gain. At the end of the day, I do end up netting out to a loss. Yeah, Sarah. I'm running a little bit behind. So let's do pre-cruise. Okay, so my goal pre-cruise was actually to have lost 50 pounds. So I had wanted to be down to 254 pounds. Uh, but yeah, I'm slow turtle. I'm in the turtle club. So it didn't quite work out that way. But when I weighed in 2 days before I left for the cruise, I was at 268 pounds. So that was a total of 3 pounds lost since my weigh in that I publicized on the cruise. So still 268 pounds. That's great. And so then I went on the cruise and I wanted to give myself a vacation from dieting because at that week, right, I had been doing 37 weeks of probably 90% perfection on my diet, right? It's not about perfection though, it's about consistency. So 90% consistency on my diet for those 37 weeks. So I'm like, you know what? I deserve a break. But because, I am taking Trizepatide, I'm taking name brand Zepbound, I'm taking the individual vials shots. I'm getting them from Lilly Direct, and they're like $500 for 4 shots. And at that time, I was at 10 milligrams. So I took my 10 milligram shot 2 days before the cruise. And so, my appetite and food cravings and hunger and all of that were well under control. So I wasn't concerned that I was going to go binge eating, which is honestly not my personality or my eating type anyway. So, like, sure, do I eat extra things that are more calories than I should have? Yes, but I'm not a binge eater. I don't know how people can do it, honestly, because that is an extremely uncomfortable feeling for me. I don't like to be uh, full or really full. So I had no concerns about that. So also to keep myself moving and do the fun challenge, you saw all my videos, hopefully, of my step challenge. I challenged myself to do 5,000 steps per day and I smashed that out of the park. I ended up doing over 41,000 steps for, I believe, 14.13 miles, if I'm remembering right. So I walked over a half marathon on my vacation, which was great. So, what do you think? Do you think that those steps actually helped me when I weighed in? Or do you think that eating things out of my normal diet were the detriment? Now, it, a lot of you on here do know me, so you do know that I have some stupid, ridiculous food allergies. And my endocrinologist believes I have Hashimoto's, which can lead to a lot of inflammation. And the Hashimoto's causes the food allergies. And then I get into things that have my allergen. It's just as simple as eating something with cornstarch or xanthan gum or corn syrup. And so I'll retain water for 7 to 10 days after I get into it. Um, so, yeah, it was kind of on the struggle bus. So I got home and hi, Jill. Nice to see you. So, Jill's one of my good friends. She's on this diet journey with me, and we've been supporting each other. Sadly, she didn't get to go on the cruise with me because she was sick the week before. But one of these days, I'm going to drag her along. Um, so I can't wait until we're both at healthy weights and can do all of the things. But anyway, so I did my cruise. I ate what I wanted to eat. Uh, I still couldn't have any dairy, which was very sad. I really wanted some ice cream, but I kind of skipped all of that. And then I got home and on Friday, and that was a very long 12-hour, ridiculous, stupid journey to get home with everything late, delayed, missed my train, I missed my bus, whole 9 yards. So I got home at the end of week 31, sorry, at the end of week 38, shot 31 on September 20th, and I weighed in at 275 pounds. So that was a 7 pound gain. And I was not surprised by that at all because I figured 100% that that would be uh, inflammation, swelling, water retention, all that good stuff. So, yeah, so ouch. So, yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. I think at that point when I weighed in, I was kind of having this mindset of like, I don't care. Like, I went, I did, I enjoyed myself. I didn't have food guilt, food shame, nothing the entire time when I was on the cruise. I wasn't obsessing about food. I wasn't constantly worrying about when my next meal was. The medicine had me so under control. And that's really like the blessing of the trizepatide. So I was just like, whatever, like, it's fine. It's fine. It's going to work out in the end. So, I just tried to get myself back on track. Now, I did take a couple more days vacation from my calorie counting when I got home because, sometimes it's hard to get back in the habit. And then I was trying to, do my YouTube videos and do full time work and all of that good stuff. So I just kind of eased myself back into my calorie counting and just monitored what I was eating. And then here's the amazing part. So a week later, at the end of week 39, which would be September 27th, shot 32. So a little bit more than 6 months doing the trizepatide. I weighed in at 266 pounds. So I lost 9 pounds or 4 kilograms or 0.64 stone. So, yeah, so it was amazing. Um, and I just think that kind of weight off my shoulders of not freaking out. Um, I think that for people who have the disease of obesity and have also struggled with guilt and shame around their weight, uh, being able to let that go and not have that in your mind while you're trying to enjoy your life and do things that you really love and just not having to worry about it. I don't know if anybody has struggled with any other eating disorders like anorexia or binge eating or purging, like those thoughts they can drive you insane. And so I was just so pleased that I was able to let that go and not worry about it and then get on with my life. And then I lost 9 pounds the next week. So I was down 2 more pounds. So I was at my lowest weight ever of 66 pounds. So uh, 38 pounds down. Yay. So over those 5 shots, I lost 4 pounds total. And so, that is slow, but it's not non responsive because I'm still losing weight. But I do monitor my calories and I try and keep a good track of what I'm eating. Thank you all for the congratulations. I really appreciate it. You all know how difficult this journey is and how hard it is sometimes to get the weight off your body. Weight really likes me and doesn't like to leave. So, if we're talking about, well, what do I have left to lose? If you saw my previous video about the size of things compared to weight, I still have that kangaroo to lose because, I still have about 140 pounds, about 63.5 kilograms, and about 10 stone left to lose. So, got a long way to go, but with all of your support, I can definitely do this. And I'm really thankful for every single one of you that I interact with all of the time. Jill in real life has been uh, a real great support, and I'm glad that I'm able to support her as well. And I'm so thankful that I met Joe and Harjarine and uh, sorry, Jen. So JC Calamity Jane, uh, so thankful, and Candace, and I'm kind of missing Kim. With Kim after 50, she's been offline for a little bit, so just praying for her that everything is okay. But yeah, I'm just so incredibly thankful that I found this YouTube community, and you guys keep introducing me to new people. Last night I was on with. Oh my gosh, was it Tuber Tuber Chat? that we were on with. If someone can correct me in the comments, I think it was Tuber Chat. And then this morning I was on with Foodie's Adventures, watching her live stream and saying hello. And, it's just nice. Yes, Tuber Chat. That was really fun. So I did a super chat or like the $1.99 to just kind of be like, hey, nice to meet you. Here I am. And it was nice of him to show my channel. I did actually get a subscription or two out of it, which was great. But it's just nice to kind of get my channel out there because things have been really slow lately. Oh yeah, the source. Uh, Jen, I need to look up that channel and connect and grow. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. And then I know that Joe from Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey, I'll make sure I tag her in the description of the video, and I'll make sure I tag everybody that I know in the description of this as well, so people can check out your channels. But she recommended getting Nightbot for my chat, so I'll look into doing that. So that will help uh, everybody to be able to connect to each other. But other than that, like I've just been trying to keep on with this journey. Yesterday was actually a kind of rough day. I was trying to film a video for my Amy and 10 channel, kind of like my therapy channel. Had a whole meltdown because it's uh, kind of around the anniversary of my just 4-year older brother passing. And that was a rough one. And I do want to film like a little video about kind of the story of that. um, so it was tough because when he passed away, he had 2 children under 18, and I was the legal person to have to handle everything, and that just makes it really rough. And kind of at that point, I was having some struggles at work. Actually, okay. So if you guys like story time, I always have like the craziest things happen to me, and everything happens all at once. Aw, thank you, Candace. And thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it was tough. But like I always have like the craziest things happen all at once. Um so I was dealing with my brother's passing, um and having to make the decision of choosing to end his supportive care. So I had to make the decision to uh, take him off life support, which is not something anybody has ever wants to have to do. But it was the absolute right decision. So it wasn't hard to say, yes, this is what we need to do. But all in all, like the whole process is just very difficult. Uh, but then I get down there. I'm from a small town called Ocala, Florida. So I was down there. He was in the hospital there, and then I had him moved to Orlando uh, Medical, not Orlando Medical Center, but I think Advent Hospital in Orlando. And I was staying near the hospital, and then lo and behold, here we come in September or October, and here comes a hurricane. Here comes Hurricane Ian. So if anybody knows anything about Hurricane Ian from 2022, it was an absolute massive hurricane just barreling down on Florida. So while I was there, like dealing with all of this, my flight got canceled. I get stranded in Orlando. My hotel kicks me out on the day the hurricane hits because they're like, oh, well, we have other people booking the hotel and they're paying more than you. So I'm like, seriously, people? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mariana was hit pretty good. Um, but yeah, so like I'm just like seriously, like you can't be serious. So luckily I found a hotel near the other big hospital in Orlando, and I was on their power grid because the hotel was literally across the street, and it was on the same power grid, so I didn't lose internet or electricity or anything during the whole hurricane. I did get flooded in to the hotel, but luckily, I had uh, I had gone to Publix local grocery store and I'd picked up some peanut butter. Yeah, typical Amy travel luck. So I picked up some peanut butter and some bread and some ham and just some like random things that I could eat pretty quickly in case the power went out, or at least something that would sustain me. So I had some chips and bottled water, things like that. And, luckily I don't drink like coffee, tea, soda, or anything like that, so I didn't have to worry about those things. But yeah, I have the craziest things happen to me. Um, so I did pretty good on this cruise trip, other than like poor Jill sitting at home and she's just waiting for the shoe to drop with me traveling, right? So like something always goes wrong. But this time, like Candace and I and another friend in the YouTube community were on the Wonder of the Seas together. And the first day, we only made it out of port for like 3 hours, and they had to turn the ship around. So what they publicized was that there was a fight on board and they needed to bring it back to port, but there was actually, a lady who broke her leg pretty severely, so she needed medical care. So it was just kind of the convenience of, "Oh, well, we gotta get these 2 yahoos off, so we might as well take them off when we get to port and then let the lady get her leg dealt with." So Jill's like reading the story, the headlines come through on Yahoo or other news channels, and she's like, "Oh, I bet that's Amy's cruise ship." And sure enough, it was my cruise ship. I did successfully, though, make it home without anything crazy. I mean, okay, look, me missing the metro stop, that was my own fault. I was literally sitting there going, "Okay, next stop, get off on the next stop, get off on the next stop," chanting in my head. And then I completely zoned out, total ADHD moment. And then the minute the doors went to close, I realized it and I jumped up and I ran. But if anybody else has ever ridden the DC Metro, then that they slam those doors on you. Now they are driver controlled and they will not open them. They don't care. I've actually been standing in the doorway when it wasn't even time for the doors to close and had them slam the door on me because that's just the way they roll. So, like they did it on the 4th of July. I don't know what it was, but there's this one driver that I've had some issues with, and it's been a couple of times that I've gotten hit with the door. So, and you probably think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, they've got cameras in each carriage. They can see people. So, and I have witnesses that saw it. So crazy town. But yeah, I missed my stop. I had to go one more stop. And then of course, when I get to the end of the station, my home station, the escalators were the only thing working, and they are, I don't know, they're set on turtle speed at my station. Hi, Hamani, nice to see you. And so you can't get down the 2 sets of escalators in enough time to get the bus, but the bus is supposed to wait a minute or 2, but this guy did not wait. And probably for the 10th time, I have been running after the bus, that particular bus route. I take it all the time, and they just leave me even when I'm running. I can't tell you how many times they've done it. I've been chasing them down the street. They see me coming and they slam the door and they keep going. So, yeah, so then that cost me another 30 minutes because the next bus rolls up and then it's break time. So, I always seem to catch the person when they're going on their break. They get a 15-minute break, and then you just have to sit there and wait for them to come back to the bus. So yeah, all kinds of crazy stories. I did put some crazy travel stories on my If You Seek Amy channel. The one about the United trip. So I went on another cruise out of Houston with my friends, and we got to the airport in plenty of time to catch an earlier flight instead of sitting there for like another 4 or 5 hours. Now, they got on with no problem, but because of the type of seat I had, it wasn't offered on their flight. So they were trying to find a way to accommodate me, but they're like, "Oh, but you checked a bag. Like we can't get your bag on their flight. So you have to wait. Like there's no option for you." So I went round and round and round with the lady at the desk. Hi, Anissa. Nice to see you. I saw you on the live the other night, the A1C live with Jen. So JC Calamity Jane, Harjarine, and Joe from Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. So that was great. Thank you for doing that. That was a lot of great information. So I highly encourage everybody to go check out their channels and check out their live stream. Oh, Becky. Hey, Becky, how are you doing? Are you feeling better yet? Are you out of the hospital or out of the care facility? Like, how are you doing? I haven't seen an update from you in a while. Okay, so where was I at? So travel story. Okay, so my friends got on the flight, and so I stayed in Houston another 4 hours and just hung out at the airport. And they're like, "Oh, well, we'll come pick you up from the airport and take you home." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever." So before I even got on my flight, they texted me and said, "Oh, well, we've got your bag. And we'll bring it back with us when we come pick you up." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, like they just told me I couldn't get on the flight because they couldn't put my bag on it, and they put my bag on their flight. I don't know. I don't get it. It's just how I roll. Oh, yay, great. I'm glad to see that you're home. How is your foot healing up, Becky? Is that getting any better? I know that you were having trouble with your PIC line because that got infected. Yeah, Sarah, that is so crazy. Like, and then United didn't even bother to tell me that my bag was missing until after my friends had picked me up from the airport. So I had time. Like, if anybody has ever flown into Dulles International Airport, you know that it is not like a quick thing. You know, you land and then you're bussed and then you train and then all the other stuff. And then you finally get to baggage claim, and then I waited. I didn't have to wait there because I knew my bag wasn't there, but then I go outside and I wait outside 20 minutes for my friends to pick me up, and all that time, United's not bothering to tell me where my bag is. So it was like we were halfway to my apartment by the time I got a text that said, "Oh, your bag is missing. We think it was on an earlier flight." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, Becky, I'll make sure that as soon as I'm done here that, I will check out your channel. Oh, no, not DFW, so Dulles. So I was flying out of Houston, and, I flew I flew from Houston to Dulles International Airport. At DFW, it's been an eternity since, I have flown in and out of there, probably since I was a kid. It's been the last time, that I flew, out of there. And so, for any latecomers, if you didn't get to see me introduce my cats, here is Malibu up here with the little white paw. He is a seal point, a bicolor seal point traditional. I think that's what they call him. He is a rag doll. And then, if I can move my chair, uh, and then over here in my chair, this is my black and white big chunky boy. He's 20 pounds of attitude. That is Kevin. And let's see. Can I move my arm that way? There's a little white thing sitting on my dining table, and that is Marshmallow. She's a little like 7 pound, uh, smooth coated little white thing. She has one blue eye and one gold eye. So she's what they call odd eyed or heterochromia, like complete heterochromia, I think is what they call it, where one eye is solidly different than the other. Uh, and then I have a firecracker of a cat. It's about 7 pounds and just all fur. Sheldon, he's a little tan thing. He features himself in many of the videos. So I'm sure everybody has seen him. But he's thankfully sound asleep right now because he was like bouncing on my head right before the live stream. So, yeah, I'm eternally grateful that he is taking a nap right now. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anything you want to know about like my weight loss journey? I will say that I have been trying to keep my calorie range within what's called the basal metabolic rate. Oh, I know, Jill. Sheldon is adorable, but he has been an absolute jerk lately. Um, so yeah, so I've been trying to keep my calories within the basal metabolic range calculator. So that's how I figure out like what I should be eating. So you know what? I'll try and do a video and go through the website. That's a good idea. I'll go through the website and do like a screen share and a screen record and show you. So really it takes into account, I asked you for your age, your height, your gender, and your activity level. And so there's a bunch of different activity levels. Put all the information in and then it kicks out a number that tells you, okay, well, just to survive, to breathe and lie down in bed all day, like, here's the minimum calories you should be taking in. And then you can adjust it for what kind of activity you're doing in a day. Are you sedentary? Are you walking moderately 2 to 3 days a week? Are you fully active 7 days a week? So it really helps guide you to like kind of like what your minimum calories that you should be intaking. So when I was doing like walking challenges like every week and getting in 3 to 5 days of moderate exercise, it was saying for my weight to lose 1.5 pounds per week that I was supposed to be eating 2,000 calories. And I was just so not comfortable with that. I thought that to me was absolutely excessive because, everybody's like, oh, 1,200 calories, 1,200 calories. Everybody should be eating 1,200 calories. Anytime you want to lose weight, just 1,200 calories, right? Like there's this mantra that people get in their head and doctors tell us and all of this good stuff. But I was really trying to aim for about 1,600 calories per day on an average. So it didn't matter to me whether I did 1,400 one day or 1,800 another day. I was just kind of trying to get in a 7 day period on my calorie counting app, kind of sticking around that 1,600 calorie mark. So, and that was working pretty good. Like, I don't really have steady weight loss. Like, if you look at my chart, which I keep track, because I'm a numbers lady. So I have all of my data and it'll be like down 2 pounds this week and no weight loss that week and gain a pound the next week and maybe gain 2 more pounds and then lose 5 pounds. So like I'm just all over the place. So I can't go by any kind of pattern or anything, but when I was premenopausal, it was like clockwork when I had done like this one ridiculous diet before. It was literally like lose the most. So the first week of my cycle, lose the most weight, then lose a little less, and then lose a little less, and then lose none at all. So on the week that I would be on my menstrual cycle, I would lose no weight. And then the next week, I'd lose the most weight. And it was just kind of like this 4 week cycle. I kept track of it. And it was kind of amazing to see. Like it literally was like clockwork. It just, each month just kept cycling through uh, because I was on birth control or using hormone pills. So it was keeping me steady in every 4 week cycle. But I at that point I was losing about 10 pounds per month, which was really great, but it was not a good diet. I don't recommend the ideal protein diet at all. It was too calorie restrictive. It was like 800 calories per day, um, very, very low carb. And I just felt like I was starving to death, honestly. And because I wasn't taking any type of medication for the food noise, I literally had dreams of food. It was crazy. And now that I look back of it, like it was like a protein, like a small protein shake in the morning, 2 cups of non carb veggies, and 8 ounces or 6 to 8 ounces of protein for lunch, and then a protein snack between lunch and dinner, and then 2 cups of veggies and a 6 to 8 ounces of protein for dinner. Sarah, it was miserable. Like I managed it for quite a while because I was really desperate to get weight off, and I did lose 70 pounds, but it was hard fought, and it was the most miserable I've ever been in my life. Like right now, I'm only irritated because this is just taking so long. Not that I can do anything to change it, right? Because I'm eating my calories right, I'm getting the exercise, I'm taking the medication, I'm doing the things, and it's just how my body's gonna respond. But I'm not starving to death. I literally thought I was starving to death. It was awful. Like, so I don't recommend ideal protein at all. But a lot of the doctors, they really got into it because it was a great money making scheme, right? They'd sell you the protein bars and the protein shakes, and they'd sell you the initiation fee, and then they'd have you come back every week for a consultation. And they would just, keep raking in the dough. So, and they were seeing great results in their patients as far as like a lot of them were cardiologists that I was getting this through. So that, they were seeing people lose weight, which was obviously good for cardiac health as well, but overall, not good for mental health, right? I think that's the greatest thing that I can say about using the trizepatide is the absolute positive gains I've seen in mental health. I have a lot more mental clarity. I don't deal with nearly as much depression or anxiety. Like the anxiety that had the amount of reduction in my anxiety from taking this medication is absolutely unreal. So, yeah, I don't even think about it anymore. Like, I'm not panicking and holding on to, like, that one last anxiety pill at the bottom of my bottle, like, rationing it out anymore. I managed to fly 2 times recently, without needing anxiety medication, and I'm not, uh, every day just, like, sitting here doomsdaying, which I don't know if anybody else has struggled with that. I know it's related to my ADHD, but, it really just think it's a miracle drug. Like, I cannot tout the benefits of taking Trizepatide. I know a lot of you use it as Zepbound or Mounjaro. Some of you get it compounded. Some of you are on semaglutide and are seeing similar results, but maybe not quite as much results. But I just honestly can't say enough about it. But let's see. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody in the chat. But I think it's about time for me to wrap up here. And I will definitely be, have I, oh, okay. So, Sarah, have I ever considered switching to compounded? Seems like you would save. Here's the quandary of that. So, I was using Mochi compounded, and I didn't really have that great of results, but I did start that first before I took name branded. So I don't know whether it was I hadn't hit a therapeutic dose yet for it to be effective for me because I didn't really start seeing results till I hit 7.5. But also, I have food allergies and they add things into their medication. I think they had like a B12 or something, some type of other yeah, definitely catch the replay, Anissa. I will put timestamps on the weight loss stuff when I'm finished with this. And so tried taking the compounded, but I didn't really get good results. And my concern was that I was getting swelling and inflammation from things that they were putting in the medication, the other vitamins or whatever that are derivatives of corn, which is a really big struggle for me. There's a lot of vitamins and supplements and protein powders and all of this other stuff that I can't take because I get into corn and then I start swelling up. Like last night for dinner, I had something made with xanthan gum, which is made from corn, and I woke up this morning and my face was all swollen. So, yeah, so that's a really big challenge, but Honestly, I have actually been going on all the websites and trying to get prices for the 7.5 milligram of Trizepatide, and most of the companies, I'm not getting a straight answer, and then most of them are pretty much matching the price of Lilly Direct of $500 per month, for 7.5. So, I don't know that it is, worthwhile for me to risk getting into allergens when I can get it for the same price from Lilly Direct. Now, uh, something's gonna have to give soon. Hopefully, my, year-end bonus will come in before, uh, before my money runs out, because I'm getting close to no longer being able to pay for my medication. I have 1 more month, of money to cover the $500, and I think I have 3 more vials left currently, so I'll order again in 2 weeks, and that'll give me, like, 6 more. So let's see, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. So if I order 4 more, so I'll have 7 weeks of medication to go. So hopefully they'll get me through mid-December, and I'm really praying that my Christmas bonus or year-end bonus from my employer will come through by then, and then I'll be able to pay for the medication. Yeah, and it is ridiculous that my insurance company does not cover it. I do work for a smaller company. We're under 100 employees. So we do have really good health care, but again, we're covered by the CVS Caremark prescription benefit manager, which uh, Noro Nova Nordisk, who owns Wegovy and Ozempic, just paid them a bunch of money to kick Lilly off of the plan. Yeah, nope. It doesn't matter for sleep apnea. I can't get it covered for sleep apnea. It's just they 100% do not cover any medication for obesity. Anything used to treat obesity is not covered under my plan. Now, even though CVS Caremark does cover Mounjaro and Ozempic, on my company's plan, we do not have the extra obesity drug rider because honestly, I'm the only overweight person in the office. So I don't know about spouses or anyone else that is covered under the plan, but I did go to HR and have a conversation with them because I'm well versed in benefit plans, and they were going to ask about it, but I did not hear back, especially since we just are facing such a huge rise in our insurance rates because my company's benefits restart December 1st. And I think they initially gave us like a 25-30% raise for health insurance benefits, what they were charging the company. And if we're spending over $100,000 a month and you tack on 30%, 25-30%, that's a freaking lot of money for small employers to be going out of pocket. I'm very lucky that my employer covers most of my premium, and then they give me money towards my deductible. I have an HSA plan, and they put in my HSA. And so if I get a bonus, actually, I've got enough room left in my HSA to dump a decent bit in there to be able to get that tax free so I can repay myself for the $3,000 that I'm already out of pocket on the medication that I just haven't had the extra funds in my HSA to cover. So it's insurance is all a mess. It really is. When I first started doing mochi, I was paying just I think $300 a month, uh, which was great. But again, I started at the 2.5 dosage, and a lot of the websites now are just not being truthful. Like, I know Brello wanted all my information and a credit card before they'd even tell me if I was approved, and then they wouldn't even tell me the price of what I was paying for. And I'd heard that like their customer service wasn't that great and nobody was responding. And I looked into Orderly, and I don't think that I've looked into Fridays, but I've looked into a bunch of different companies and nobody will give me a straight answer. So I think I'm just going to have to call because I was thinking if I had enough room in my bonus and I could get compounding cheaper, uh, then I would try and see if I could get, um, maybe a couple extra vials, or at least get like a extra month or two, so that I'd have that on reserve. I would just have to call them and talk with them and see like what ingredients are in like the extra things, because I don't know why it's so fashionable to add extra things into the compounded medication. And I'm also really questioning whether they're giving us the full strength versus what Lilly is giving us in the dosages. So, there's always that like, oh, well, let's just short them like a little bit, because if we short thousands of people a little bit, right, then they're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, that's really amazing that we've come to this in this day and age. But I think that these weight loss medications are really here to stay because they are so beneficial, but we've just got to get people's mindsets around them to change. So that's really kind of going to be my goal over the next couple of years, is just to keep advocating for these are not cheating. These are medication to help with the disease. Uh, it isn't as simple as getting your diet straight and exercising, right? It's not as easy as eat less, move more. That doesn't work for people who have the disease of obesity. It's just like being diabetic. Um, if you use your insulin properly and you manage and control your blood sugar and glucose levels, just because it's under control doesn't mean you can stop taking your insulin. So, and it's the same with high blood pressure. Just because you get it under control doesn't mean you should stop taking your blood pressure medicine. Um, so we just got to get people's mindsets to start realizing like these medicines are here to stay. A lot of us need them for the rest of our life. And I am here for that. Like, I will be the first one to sign up, because if I'm going to get the benefits that I'm getting now, I want it. You're going to pry it out of my cold dead fingers because I want it. Yeah, Candace, I agree that some of the depression medications do contribute to weight, to keeping weight on your body, right? Because it's what do you call it? Regulating your brain function, right? And a lot of the challenges that people with the disease of obesity is, it's a brain function issue and not a food in mouth issue. Now there are some people obviously that are struggling with both, right? It doesn't have to be exclusive of the other. So someone can have the disease of obesity and be struggling with food intake. So that's crazy. See what Sarah has says. I've been cut off from my meds when my A1C gets normal and told I didn't need it by insurance. That is the most absurd thing that I've ever heard. And I did a little research on my company's plan, and because I was trying to do some digging into the obesity drugs and the insulin and all of this. Also, too, I have a friend that takes Mounjaro, that was pre-diabetic, but now is no longer pre-diabetic. But some insurance plans will say that even if you are in the normal range, it's just considered in remission and not cured, and that they'll still allow you to continue the medication because you still need to be treated just because you're within normal range. Like, it's a maintenance thing. The medication's required to maintain you. But if you're diabetic and they're cutting you off from your meds because you're in the normal range, these people need to have their heads checked, honestly. Because I guarantee you 100% the non-medical doctor person is the one making that decision. And I actually had a sort of step cousin that was in the medical field, worked for an insurance company, and her job was to actually go through claims and find reasons to deny them. That's what they paid her for it. And she ended up having a mental breakdown and had to quit her job because of the morality of the situation of of denying people healthcare coverage because they just want to deny claims. They don't care, right? It's just people, it's just things on a piece of paper to the insurance companies. We're not people. We're a barrier between them getting their dollar bills, right? And being able to feed the board of directors more good news and more money and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, we're not real to them. We're just words on a piece of paper, and it doesn't matter. So, well, I want to thank everybody for stopping by to my live feed today. We made exactly an hour. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will have to do these more often. I was thinking of maybe setting a regular live per week and maybe doing my weigh in live instead of waiting for a video. So, and also, maybe I can start getting out at lunch and filming outside. It's starting to get cold. It was about 40 last night. So it's going to start getting chilly here, and it's starting to get dark before I leave work. So, um, I definitely need to do some scheduling. So, well, thank you all for being here, and I really appreciate it. And I'll make sure that the live stream chat is available for you after this video. I did make sure that I hit the button on that this time, and I managed a vertical live stream, which didn't happen the first time. So that's pretty fabulous. It actually worked right. And thank you for being here, and I will see you all again soon. Have a great day.